Hey, what's up, everybody? So, welcome back to the channel. So, today I have a really huge update for you all. So, for those who have been following the channel for a while, you already know that I had Consumer Cellular, but this past week I decided to part ways with Consumer Cellular and actually get another phone service. And so this video will be telling you all why I decided to get another phone service, why Consumer Cellular no longer worked for me, and I will do a follow-up video letting you all know what service I decided to go with and why that particular service actually fit my needs for right now. So let's go ahead and jump right into the video. But wait, before we jump right into the video, make sure that you go ahead and like the video so that other people can see the video so that it can become more visible. Make sure that you go ahead and you share, because if you have these questions or you want to know this information, I'm pretty sure other people will want to know too. And also make sure that you go ahead and subscribe, because as you can see, the channel has grown a lot over the last year, and we really want to make sure that we hit 1,000 and really just grow the audience, because this information is so useful to people as we really try to help individuals save money and be more savvy to help them spread their money a little bit further, especially with so much that's going on with inflation. So let's go ahead and jump right into this video. The first reason that I decided to part ways with Consumer Cellular is simply because they have terribly slow, deprioritized data. And if you read Consumer Cellular's website, they will tell you that they have premium data, that you will have access to premium data, which is true to a point. So I have been doing a lot of research over the last couple of months, and I happened to come across this particular channel called Best Phone Plans. Definitely check that podcast out. It's great in helping you to understand how prioritized as well as deprioritized, as well as a lot of these third parties, as well as some of these major carriers work. And what it helped me to understand is that even though they told me that I would get premium data, quote unquote, if I'm in a crowd full of people who are actually T-Mobile and AT&T customers, then those customers will have priority access to the towers, and their data would be able to go to whatever website, go to whatever maps, or access whatever apps faster than mine would if I was using data, because they are customers of AT&T and T-Mobile, and so they would have priority over me. And once they got to the website or finished using whatever data that they were going to use, then mine, which would probably have been throttled, or I probably would have seen the circle trying to search and hit the pole or the tower rather, and come back to my phone, it would finally work. And at first, I've noticed that when I first got on Consumer Cellular, but it really wasn't a problem until the past couple of months. In the past couple of months, it's become extremely throttled, extremely slow, and some of that is simply because a lot of these major carriers such as AT&T and T-Mobile, they are trying to give their customers priority access because the carrier game has become so competitive that they're trying to retain the customers that they have, which to me makes complete sense. And for those of you all who haven't watched my previous videos, the reason that I am using AT&T and T-Mobile for the examples is simply because those are the towers that Consumer Cellular uses to provide any type of data and phone service for their customers. The second reason I decided to leave Consumer Cellular is because the unlimited data plans actually cap at 50 gigabytes, which might be good for you if you are on the plan by yourself. However, if you have to share your plan with one other person, two other people, three other people, so on and so forth, then you have to divide that 50 gigabytes up in between those people. So, for instance, me and my sister, we were on a phone plan together, and so that meant that I got 25 gigs and she got 25 gigs. And this is not something that you are aware of at the very beginning. You only find this out once you actually reach out to a customer service rep. And the reason that I found out was when I was trying to figure out why was the data throttling so much, why was it always seeming like we were always going over our data? The person explained to me that we only got 25 gigs a piece, which when you add it together, that's 15 gigs for your unlimited plan. And after that, you are put on the throttled piece or the deprioritized piece, where if you thought it went slow when you had quote unquote premium access to the towers, then you would be completely shocked how slow it went once you have use of all your data for that month. So that was something that I feel like they should tell people up front instead of you having to kind of find that out on the back end. Points one and two actually lead me to my third point, which discusses how, because the data is so slowed, whether you are using the quote unquote premium data or once you've used all your premium data and you get onto the throttle piece, either way, you are using much more data. And I feel like because it's so throttled, especially when you are using the quote unquote premium piece, especially when you're out and about and everybody's trying to hit that cell tower at the same time, and because you aren't a customer and you aren't prioritized in that sense, you end up using more data, which means that your 50 gigs of data, they go away so fast that it seems like you only have it for a couple of days. And we really tried to make it a point to use Wi Fi more, but regardless, if you're out and about and you need to use your data, you want to use fast data, especially if you're paying for unlimited data. If you're paying for the quote unquote premium piece, you still want to have access to that and not necessarily have it to where you're trying to hit the tower as somebody else so you can get a signal and they are already loading their website, but yours is still spending for at least 30 seconds or more. um, that's not what you're paying for, and so that became an issue for me. Now, my fourth reason is because of the slow data, it really could become a safety issue. And so, because of the field that I'm in, I'm always thinking about safety. I'm always thinking about not only my safety, but the personal safety of others. And I always thought about what would happen if we were out and we needed to contact someone during an emergency, if we needed to access a phone number fast, if we needed to order a Uber or a Lyft fast, or if we just needed to pull up some information really quickly on our phones, would we be able to do that? And because the data was throttled, because we weren't necessarily a priority when it comes down to the towers and if we were in a crowd or not, I was like, this is something that is a huge safety issue for me. This is something where it might work for other people, but I know for myself, it's something that I decided that it wouldn't work for me anymore because we all know what it's like when we are trying to access something really, really fast and we really need to access either, let's say you're trying to get home, get into your house, and you're trying to deactivate the alarm system, or you are trying to deactivate, let's say you have a car that uses your phone, or you're trying to get into your bank account, or something of that nature that is a priority to you, and you're trying to get into all of that. And you can't because the data is throttled, or you keep getting these signals saying, like, hey, we can't get into it right now, let's retry, or your phone continues to buffer to where it takes longer to buffer than it does to actually get into your account to do what you need to do. So the final reason that I decided to leave Consumer Cellular is simply because the phone plans, they kept going up, and when I would do my cost analysis of what I'm actually getting versus what I'm actually paying for, things were not evening out. But I did want to just do a fair analysis of telling you all, hey, I did leave Consumer Cellular. I will still cover Consumer Cellular content for those who actually subscribe to the channel for that. So don't worry. I will still be doing that because I do have family members who are on Consumer Cellular who reach out to me all the time about things pertaining to Consumer Cellular. So don't worry about that. Now, do I still think that Consumer Cellular is worth it? I think that if you don't mind having slower data, if you don't mind having throttled data, then it's for you. If your primary purpose is to only text and call, Consumer Cellular is definitely for you. Now, if you're like somebody like me who probably use a lot of data because I'm out and about doing other things, then I'm not sure if it's for you. But if you are the type of person who might be out and about and you don't really mind having throttled data or taking a little extra time for it to load, then Consumer Cellular is for you. I think that it's still a great service, but it's not for me currently where I am in life. So make sure you go ahead, you like, you share, and you subscribe. If you have Consumer Cellular, drop down in the comments and talk about why you still have Consumer Cellular. If for some reason you decided to get rid of Consumer Cellular, drop down in the comments and tell us why. Is it some of the reasons that I've mentioned, or is it other reasons? I've seen many other reasons why people have joined Consumer Cellular and love to. So let's have a conversation down in the comments below. Until next time, make sure you like, you share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.